Alright, so first, this oil change applies to the E320 V6 only, not the V8. Maybe the V8, honestly, I'm not sure, but definitely not the inline 6 turbo diesel. So first, get your car lifted up via maybe a jack, and take this right safety precautions. Or you can drive up on a curb, that's kind of bad, or you could drive on a ramp, which is also good, or you have a lift. If you have a lift, why are you watching this video? So after the car is lifted up, you're gonna need a 13mm socket or a wrench, or you can use whatever you want to get the drain bolt loose. So where's the drain bolt? Well, if we're looking at the car like this, it's gonna be down here. It's gonna be down right there. So it's gonna be on the passenger side of the car. So that's why I lifted the car up that way, to get a better drain. I already did the video a favor and I loosened it for you already. So while you're down here loosening the drain bolt, you want to move it this way towards the end of the car. If you're moving it towards the front of the car, you're tightening it. So always make sure to wear gloves, because this is really dangerous for the skin, and it should be coming out any second now. Right, it's almost out. Cool. Ouch. Alright, so now that we are draining, maximize our time, let's go and get to the oil filter. Alright, so now we're at the oil filter. I have a specialty tool that applies on my 3/8 socket, and then all you need to do is just attach the cap on there and then just push towards the car. Oh, okay, cool. You just need to push towards the car and just keep loosening until we get it out. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this, so I'm gonna have the camera off. Alright, so now we have both of the oil filters out. We have this paper that tells us that the notch on this one should be completely covered once it's inside of the new filter. And this is telling us where this large gasket goes, since this oil filter has a ton of gaskets for some reason. So let me get these sorted out. So I'm guessing we have one right here, one over here, and then this little one down here. No idea where this one goes yet, so I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, so let's get this old filter off. There we go, cool. Let me get a rag. So before we get the new filter on, let's get the old gaskets out. Over here, I have a pick tool, so you can just use whatever you want. You can use a knife, you can use like whatever, your fingers. But this one comes off relatively easy. Just ease it out so you don't scratch any of the threads. And would you look at that, that's right out of there. So here's that old one. I'll move the camera up a little bit. The old one and the new one is right here. Let's double check the paper and see which one it went on. Let's see. Right in here. That makes sense. Cool. Now let's get this on here. I just need my tool, won't I? No, maybe not. Yeah, you can just use your fingers for this. There we go. We're on, and it sits. Let this focus. And this sits in this notch right here. Cool. And before anything else, let me grab some of the old oil and, or actually my hands are doing good enough. Make sure you get some oil and rub it around this so it seals better next time. Alright, next gasket. Let's see. Should be right here. I don't see the other one at all. Let me see if I can take this off. Nope. Okay, cool. Alright. Yeah, now we're gonna need a pick tool. This one's a lot harder. This one does not want to come out. There we go. Now this one's out. Let's get the new one. So it sat right in this ridge right here. Come on. There we go. And I got some old oil around it. It's gonna be good. Then we're on to this one. I can't believe there's 4. Sorry. There we go. It's off. Is that old one? Let's get that new one in there. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, back on we go. Let's try to use our fingers for this one. And of course, there we go. Yep. Guide it around. And then get some oil around it. Last up is that little one. Cool. Let's get this one back on. Nice. Let's get the oil filter back on. Remember these 2 notches. You just simply put it in there. You gotta convince it a little bit. And then even more. That notch should not be showing, so let's try to get it in there. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, you twist it. Okay, cool. All right, it's in there. Can't see the other notch, so that's great. Back to the car. Okay, now we're back at the engine bay. Let's get this oil filter back in. Just simply put it in there. I don't know why that's so long. And you can just keep spinning, and then it's asking you to torque it down at 25 Newton meters. And that's probably gonna torque it down. Now you just get this and you tighten it. I don't have a torque wrench, so a good old Ugga Dugga should be good. See, that'll seal. It's perfectly fine. Alright, so now that we're back under the car, I'm gonna put the new drain bowl back in, but do not forget the copper gasket from my camera roll. There we go. Don't forget that copper gasket, since we're gonna need it. And don't reuse gaskets. So we're gonna go back and thread it. Now we're threading towards the front of the car. I can get this in correctly. And it is still a 13 millimeter, so when you go and tighten it, you need a 13. Okay, so that's hand tight. Let's get our socket and get the final tightening down. And you just tighten it till you know it's not going anywhere. Boom, there we go. Last step is to fill the car up with oil, and this takes 8 quarts of oil. So, just get it in there, and you need 8 of these, and that's it. After that, after you get all 8, seal the cap back up, start the car, and you're good.